What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a fantastic day today. And I want to apologize. In my last video where I talked about how to water your lawn, I didn't actually give any specifics. I talked about how you need to put your hands to soil to figure out if you're getting enough or not enough water, or too much water for that matter. But I didn't give like what I found to work for my schedule. As I said in the last video, I started with what the YouTube recommendation was, which was twice a day for about 10 to 15 minutes a session. But as I said before, that that wasn't getting enough water on my grass. Yeah, it was somewhat moist, but it wasn't giving enough time for even coverage on my lawn, so I had to adjust my schedule accordingly. So especially after I overseeded, I discovered that 3 times a day for 20 minutes a day actually worked, which, yes, that's an hour of watering. That may seem a bit excessive, but like I said, every lawn works differently. And if you watch that last video, you can see I'm getting really good results with that schedule. Now here in the last, yesterday, I actually dialed that down to 10 minutes a session. And today I did it just twice a day for 10 minutes at each time. So it's actually been, I've been slowly dialing it back, but I'm actually probably gonna bump that up a little bit because I'm gonna put some more seed down in some of my problem areas. But I did want to shout out to this little doohickey right here. It's the Orbit Single Faucet Timer, and I have 2 of these. One here, which goes to the strip, and I have one on the other side of the house, which goes to the front lawn, which operates the 2 sprinklers on the front lawn. And these things have made my life so much easier, especially on those days, those evenings where I just have too much going on. Especially in the morning, if you're trying to water multiple times a day, especially right after you overseed or put seed down, you don't have time to maybe operate each sprinkler differently and change hoses around or whatever. So it helps to have some kind of timer. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they either have an in-ground irrigation system or they don't. I'm one of the situations where I don't. But that's what makes these things so beneficial, because it acts like an in-ground irrigation system as far as the timing goes and the scheduling of your watering. Now there is some limitations to this. You don't have especially this model here, you don't have the wide scale of scheduling that the other timers do. Like, you can't set it for each day like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule or something like that. You kind of have to do it based on hours and days. So I mean, you could do like every 2 days or something like that, and that kind of mimics the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But the other limitation of this is actually that it runs on 3 AA batteries, which is fine if you're home all the time, and you can monitor it to make sure that there's still plenty of juice left. I don't really know how you test that. I think one day it's just gonna be on, and the next time it's gonna be off, and you won't even, you'll be like, oh, it's turned off because the batteries are dead. But if there's a moment where like this last weekend where I was on vacation, I did have that fear that I was gonna come back and the batteries were gonna be dead on both of them. And so while I was away for a full weekend, my irrigation didn't run at all. So there is that fear. So that is one of the drawbacks, that it is just run off batteries. So you gotta keep an eye on it to make sure that the batteries aren't dead. But like I said, these things have made my life so much easier, knowing that I can set it for every 6 hours for 10 minutes, or every 12 hours for 10 minutes or whatever. It's made it so much easier, and it is really simple and easy to use. I'm gonna show you that here in a moment. That maybe one day I'll have an in-ground irrigation system, just so I don't have hoses all over my lawn. But this has just made things to where one of my concerns was like making sure I could get to watering my lawn enough. And this has made that sort of just a non-issue to now I know I'm definitely getting water to the lawn. I just have to set the thing. So let me actually show you how to set it. So this is the Orbit Single Faucet Timer. As you can see, it has a dial here with off, auto, set clock, start time, how long, and how often. You also have this is like a delay button here where you can set it to how long, like if you know you're going to get rain in a little bit and you just don't want it to run and it's going to rain during a session or something like that. You can push that and it will ask you for how long do you want the delay to take place, and you can set that. You have a manual, which is a manual mode. So if you want to water off your normal schedule, just hit manual. How long you want to water it by pushing these buttons, plus and minus. If you hold them down, it actually goes in 5-minute increments. Just pushing it goes single minute. Then clears your current settings. So anyway, like I said, I currently have it on off. When you are running on a normal schedule, you'll just keep it on auto. But before you do anything else, you have to set your clock. It is 6:53 p.m. and so plus minus, change the time, hold it up in 5-minute increments, down in 5 minus, down in 5-minute increments. Then you can tell it when you want your timer to start. So I currently have it at 7 p.m. and so you do the same thing. Just hold it 5-minute increments, down. So I have it starting at 7 a.m. How long? I want it to run for 15 minutes. Now I have my oscillating sprinkler over here running for 15 minutes while I have the gear heads running at 10 minutes. They just put out a little more water than the oscillating does, so I have the oscillating running for a little bit longer. How often? I have it running currently at every 12 hours, like I said at the beginning of the video. It was every 6 hours before, and then actually at 7 o'clock, because then it would also run at 1 o'clock in the morning, which wouldn't do any good. Every night after the 7 p.m. watering, I'd actually come and turn it off, and then first in the morning I'd turn it back to auto. And once you set all that, you set it to auto, bada bing, bada boom, it starts working. Or then your time is, and it will also remind you have 7 minutes to your next start time. If you, like I said, if you want to water off your normal schedule, you can just hit manual, set it for how many minutes you want it to run. So let's just say for this test, 10 minutes. As you can see, there is a little bit of a delay from when it actually starts watering, but the delay is minimal. It's not a big delay. And then when you're, let's say you're done, because I don't want to water it now because I have my timer starting here in a few minutes, just turn it to off, and then it will turn off. Now you do have to have your faucet on at all times in order for it to work. If you don't have your faucet on, obviously it's not going to. This will start, but it won't pump any water. So you have to have your faucet on at all times for it to work. But you just hook it up here to the spigot, to the faucet, and then down here is where you connect your hose. And that's basically how you set up your Orbit single faucet timer. I just want to make sure that's known that this video is not sponsored in any way by Orbit. I bought both sprinklers on my own, but in all honesty, with my subscriber count and view count, no company is going to lend me anything to test anyway, but I just felt like I should tell you that. So that is my quick down and dirty review and how-to of the Orbit single faucet timer. I recommend, if you don't have an in-ground irrigation system and one of your concerns is watering your lawn, this thing definitely makes things so much easier. At Home Depot, they're about 30 bucks a pop. There are some cheaper ones, and there's definitely ones that are more expensive with 2 spigot, 2 outputs. And I'm pretty sure more settings and whatnot, but I highly recommend if you want to put the watering to ease as far as making sure that you're on a routine schedule, definitely pick up one of these. You won't regret it. So anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys have found it somewhat useful. You learned something with all my videos. I suggest you go back and watch my progress in my fall lawn rehab, and there's gonna be more videos to come, especially here. This Saturday is actually the 2-week anniversary, if you want to call it, since I overseeded. I'm going to do a 2-week sort of progress video and do a little bit of not overseeding, but seeding some of the problem areas and trying to push some growth in those areas. Anyway, I will see you all later. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.